When the rain wouldn't stop, she built her own shelter. It rained that night. Not the soft kind that kisses your window, but the kind that feels like the sky itself is crying. Amma pulled her thin sweater tighter around her shoulders, trying to cover her son, Kabi, who was fast asleep under the half-torn umbrella they'd found behind an old kiosk. His breathing was steady, innocent, unbothered by the cold that was slowly biting through the fabric of his school uniform, the only one he had. She whispered a prayer, not for food, not even for warmth, just for the rain to stop. But it didn't. Amma used to have a small wooden shop by the roadside. She sold fried yam and kelawel. Not much, but enough to buy rice, pay for Kabi's school fees, and even smile sometimes. Then one morning, her landlord came with a letter. The land was being cleared for a modern plaza. She had 2 weeks to move. She begged, pleaded, even offered to pay extra rent. But when poverty speaks, people pretend they don't hear. So she packed what little she had into 2 old bags, took Kabi by the hand, and left. That was 3 months ago. Now, home was a broken-down market stall behind the bus terminal. The smell of diesel mixed with smoke from street food vendors filled the air. People passed her daily. Some pitied, some ignored, others judged. But Amma wasn't the kind of woman who gave up quietly. She had this unshakable belief that storms don't last forever. Still, that belief was being tested now, and hard. Every morning before sunrise, she would wash her face at the public tap, wrap her hair in a scarf, and go sell sachet water. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't even enough, but it was honest. She saved every coin she could. When it rained, she didn't stop. She'd cover the water sachets with plastic and keep moving, whispering, "If I stop now, he stops eating." Her son's school bag was torn, but he never missed a day. She always made sure of that. One evening, after another long, cold day, Amma saw a group of construction workers nearby finishing their shift. When they left, she noticed something: a pile of discarded plywood, nails, and broken planks lying by the dumpster. That night, under the heavy rain, she decided she was done waiting for the weather to change. She'd build something herself. With trembling hands, she dragged the first piece of wood. The rain soaked her scarf. Her feet were bare and muddy. People walking by thought she was crazy, a woman trying to build a house out of trash in a thunderstorm. But Amma wasn't crazy. She was desperate. And desperation, when mixed with love, becomes power. She worked through the night, hammering, dragging, pushing, praying. By dawn, there stood a small crooked shelter, barely big enough for her and her son. It leaked a little, creaked when the wind blew, but it was theirs. When Kabi woke up and saw it, his face lit up like sunshine through a cracked wall. "Mama, you built us a house?" Amma smiled through her exhaustion. "Not a house yet," she said, "but it's a start." Word spread around the area. Some people started helping. One woman gave her old curtains. Another man gave leftover roofing sheets. Slowly, that crooked little shelter began to look like a home. Amma started selling roasted corn outside it. Just enough to survive. Just enough to keep going. But the real miracle wasn't the shelter. It was how Amma carried herself. How she still laughed, still prayed, still believed, even when the world had taken everything from her. Months later, a journalist covering stories on homelessness passed by her stand. He bought some corn, heard her story, and shared it online. The post went viral, not because it was tragic, but because it was true. People sent donations, local NGOs reached out, and for the first time in years, Amma could afford to breathe. She moved into a small rented room. Nothing fancy, just a roof that didn't leak, and walls that didn't talk back. But every evening, she still walked past that old plywood shelter, now empty, and whispered, "Thank you for keeping us alive when the world turned its back." Ama's story became a symbol of resilience, of the women who refuse to drown even when life keeps pouring. And when people asked her how she did it, she'd simply say, "The rain didn't stop, so I learned to build in it." Sometimes God doesn't calm the storm. He teaches you how to dance under it. Quote from Amma, the mother. I was never waiting for the rain to stop. I was waiting for my courage to start.